What's up guys, Josh from Strength Side. This is a beginner leg strength routine that you can do at home. I got a lot of requests for a beginner leg strength video. I guess a lot of you guys are weak, so just kidding. In all seriousness though, this routine is perfect for beginners to build up some basic strength to then hopefully in the future be able to do more advanced movements, and it requires little to no equipment. This routine is also great for anyone that's been experiencing any injuries or imbalances. This kind of gives you a chance to go back and build a very strong foundation. And if this routine is too easy for you, I'll link on the screen to my more advanced leg strength workout that you can check out. Let's get to it. The split squat is one of my favorite exercises for building up foundational strength because each leg is doing something different. The front leg squats and the back leg is an extension. You're going to want to set up with your knee directly under your hip and the front ankle directly under the knee. Keeping equal weight in both legs, squat yourself up. Try to move the pelvis straight up and straight down. Put a big emphasis on keeping the back hip extended and not bending at the waist. As you can see from the front view, my feet are almost in alignment. That means my stance is very narrow, and I'm also keeping my torso as upright as I can throughout the movement. If the movement is too challenging and you just don't quite have the strength and or balance, you can use some assistance by putting your hand on something. Use this assistance to guide you up and down. As you get stronger and more in tune with the movement, use less and less assistance from your hand. Eventually, you'll be able to take all the assistance away and do the full movement. One of the challenging things to do in an at-home workout is to work your hamstrings, but the hamstring heel slide will do that for us. This is best done on a hard surface with socks, but you can also do it on carpet. Begin on your back with your hips elevated. Slowly drag one heel out until the knee is straight, and then drag that heel back to the starting position. The most important part of this movement is to not let the hips drop. So as I drag my heel out and back in, I'm forcing my hips up to the ceiling. The single leg version of this exercise is easier because you have the support of the bent leg. As you get stronger, you can try the double leg variation with just lowering. So I slide my heels out until my knees are straight, and then I let my hips come down and I come back to the starting position. Follow all the same cues as before and put the emphasis on keeping the hips up as the knees straighten. As you may have guessed, the full movement involves pulling the heels back towards your butt into the starting position. This is a very challenging movement, but can be a great goal to work towards. The glute bridge is a simple exercise but can be very effective if we do it correctly. Start on your back, place the heels right around under the knees, and then lift the hips to the ceiling as high as you can. Pause at the top for a 1 to 2 count. This is an exercise that gives back as much as you put in. If you just go through the motions, you won't get too much out of the glute bridge. But if you really try to squeeze your butt as hard as you can and force the whole foot into the ground, you will really activate the glutes and start to build some good hip extension strength. As you become stronger, the glute bridge is easy to load up by placing a weight on the front of your hips. Now you can execute your bridge in the exact same way with some added resistance. The kneeling hip hinge is a great way to work on hip extension and mobility at the same time. Start in a tall kneeling position with your top of your feet flat to the ground. Sit your hips back towards your heels and then squeeze your butt, pushing your hips forward just as we did in the glute bridge. Your primary goal here is control and range of motion. Try to move your butt as close to the heels as you can and then move the hips as forward as possible. Lastly is the elevated calf raise. You're going to want to elevate your toes on a stair or a step, keeping your knees straight dig the toes into the surface and bring your heels as high as you can, squeezing your calves. We're working through full range of motion here, so as the heels come down, you should feel a big stretch through the calves. I like to pause at the top for a 1 to 2 count to really fatigue the muscle. The best way to make strength gains is to add intensity over time. So with this routine, you can start at the lower end of the rep and set range, and then try to add reps and sets as you progress over time. Take a picture of this routine and refer to the videos to make sure your form and technique is perfect. Comment below, let me know what felt good and what was challenging. Like the video if you enjoyed this workout. As always, I'll see you in the next one. What's up, guys? Because I get a lot of questions on my diet, I figured I'd just throw at the end of this leg strength video a common meal that I'll eat, as this is lunch today. So I'm gonna show you, I got some potatoes grilling up right here on the frying pan. I'm gonna throw in some cauliflower, some bell pepper, some spinach, maybe cabbage, not quite sure yet, and then throw in some ground beef with all that. Probably do an avocado to top it all off. So I'm getting those potatoes going first because they take a little longer to cook, and then I'm gonna throw in these veggies right now, throw in the meat last. Really easy meal, everything goes in one pan, and you have a nice big muscle building lunch to get into after. So after I cook all this up, I'm gonna show you guys the finished product. You can check it out. Stay tuned. Alright guys, here's the finished product. We got the cauli, some of the ground beef, bell pepper, bunch of avocado, and a piece of toast on the side. A big glass of water. Also seasoned all this with just some little soy sauce. That's what I like to do, throw a little soy sauce and salt in. Things tend to taste good. If you enjoyed this, I have a full day of eating coming out. You can see everything that I eat in the whole day. If it's already out, I'll link it on the screen. Be sure to check it out. Subscribe to Strength Side. As always, I'll see you in the next one.